So we were sitting at a table in New York City, Manhattan. I was with about 8 other female entrepreneurs, and we were discussing all sorts of incredible things, such as the dynamic of being the main breadwinner in our family and the dynamic of really being an independent online business owner. And it was an incredible group of people at the table. And at the end of the table was a woman who uh, told everyone, and really it was her title was to be a CFO for online businesses. And her client was sitting next to her, and I overheard a snippet of their conversation. And the client was asking permission to spend money, her own hard earned money in her business. And it was the way that it was asked, it was the way that the question was answered that really just made my skin crawl. And it was right then and there that I made a vow to ensure that my clients never felt disempowered when working with me, and that the exact opposite was our intention, to empower those with financial information so that you can make decisions that are rightfully yours to make without any additional input or feeling almost like dependent on an outside CFO. Hi, my name is Amber Duggar, founder of Profit for Keeps. And in today's Profit for Joy TV episode, we're talking all about why I feel so incredibly strongly about not delegating your cash flow and your money to a finance team or to an outside CFO. Welcome, welcome. If this is your very first time coming into the Profit for Joy world, I'm so excited to have you. Please do like and subscribe this video, like and subscribe to our channel. We are always putting out additional content on profitability, cash flow, mindset, wealth consciousness, and really just living a holistic life where you are looking at your entire financial picture and ensuring that it all is in alignment. So why the heck am I making a whole video about this? Well, because I think it's something that actually very few people are talking about. And I believe it's one of the number one reasons why so many business owners feel so incredibly lost when it comes to the money and finance of their business. So why would we not want to delegate something like this, especially at a level if we're making multiple 6 figures or 7 figures or multiple 7 figures in our business? Why would we not want to delegate something like cash flow when we're told time and time again, delegate those tasks that are less than $10,000 an hour tasks? Well, I'm going to argue that cash flow is actually, I would say, even more than a $10,000 an hour task. And here's why. The opportunity cost of embezzlement far exceeds a $10,000 an hour cost. The misuse of cash, the mismanagement of cash far exceeds the time saved. And here's the thing, no one is going to care more about your money than you. It's just the fact. The only exception is if you have a spouse who is actively involved in your business and they're helping you with the cash flow. That is really the only exception. Now, when you get past 7 figures and you're entering into 8 figures, that's when you can have a full-time, fully vetted employee help you with cash flow management. Absolutely. So don't think that this is going to be something that you have to do for the rest of your life. However, before you get to that point, fully understanding your cash flow is one of the best gifts you can ever give yourself. And it's actually much simpler than you may think. It's not all about getting an accounting degree or getting even a finance degree or learning a whole bookkeeping system. In fact, I actually encourage you to find a finance team to do those things. So, what am I talking about then? Why would I say get a finance team, but don't delegate cash flow? It's because they're two very different things. So what you do want a finance team to do for you is bookkeeping, 100%. You definitely don't want to be spending your precious time on bookkeeping. You also want to delegate tax strategy to a proficient tax strategist and accountant or CPA. To collections and follow up with customers who are either past due or who have had a payment decline. Receipt collection for all of your expenses to be associated with the expense in the bookkeeping. Travel journals for whenever we travel again will be, that's so important to keep a documentation of the reason behind the business travel, any receipts related to that business travel, the reason, who you went to see, etc. All of those things are excellent things to delegate to a finance team. What you don't want to delegate is anything that has to do with the organization, intention, and purpose and management of the cash flow coming in. And that's what we specifically focus on in Profit for Keeps. It's what we focus on in our Age Money Challenges. It's what we focus on this channel. It's all about empowering you with the information that really makes a difference, such as how much you want to be making in your business, how much your business expenses are, how much your personal expenses are, what your future cash flow looks like, how it compares to your revenue goal. Those things are very much tied to strategic, visionary actions. It is not something that you want a finance team to do. So the other thing to just keep in mind here, just to keep reiterating this point, is cash is the lifeblood of your business. So just imagine, it's like the number one thing. If you don't have cash coming in, then it doesn't exist, right? You're running a business that's a sinking ship if you don't have cash coming in on a regular basis, more so than the money coming out. So when cash is the lifeblood of the business, without having an intimate and clear relationship with the status of your cash flow, you're simply flying in the dark. And I'm saying this truly from a place of love. And if you are resonating with this and saying, yeah, I totally feel like I'm in the dark, please know that this is said to you with absolute love. This is said to you from a place of, it's totally possible to do this. It's totally possible to empower yourself to do this. It's totally possible to understand this. And you don't need to be a spreadsheets person. You don't need to be someone who's good with math. It's simply all about organization and intention. And that's all it is. And that is something that you do want to just think. Like when I have clients who go through the process, implement the framework, all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to look at my money. And I honestly still am kind of wondering, like, is this an out-of-body experience? I don't actually believe that I'm the one saying this, that I'm excited to look at my money, that I actually want to do this. And that's the thing. A confused individual does not want to proceed into the confusing world, right? It's like, who wants to feel like they're inadequate or like they don't understand what's going on? No one. I don't. But when you actually are empowered with this information, then it's exciting. So you know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for, and you know how to use the information to ensure that you are truly running a profitable, sustainable business. So what I would love for you to do and think about is what your finance team is doing right now, what things you want to make sure that they maintain, and what you can look into in terms of empowering yourself with being able to do spending decisions, being able to make investment decisions for your business, being able to decide whether or not you can pay yourself a bit more this month. All of these things are conversations I never have with my bookkeeper. My bookkeeper never talks to me about preparing for taxes. She doesn't talk to me about how much money I'm paying myself. We are simply focusing on our money from a tax perspective. And I'm so grateful for her. She's an amazing bookkeeper. And I'm so grateful to know that every receipt's documented, every travel journal's documented. We have a really clear system for that in place. And she also is very familiar with, my payroll and all of that. But she is not helping me strategize for forward-thinking activities. And nor do I expect her to. So why would bookkeeping software not help you be able to make these current and present decisions? And why am I asking about that? It's because your bookkeeper and finance team are using that to help you with cash flow decisions. And it's the opposite. It's the wrong software to be using for cash flow management decisions. Software doesn't give you predictable forward-looking information. It's simply looking backwards. All financial software, with the exception of envelope budgeting software, which is what we use in Profit for Keeps, looks backwards. Envelope software system is not meant for bookkeeping. It's a totally different project or subject. And the reason that it's so different is because it's looking forwards. It's not dealing with bookkeeping, it's dealing with intentional organization of cash. And they're two very separate things. You'll hear me say this a lot because it's something that I don't believe is common knowledge. And so it's really important to just continue to reiterate this point. The other thing is cash flow is now. Cash flow is the money that's coming in now. It's not what happened last month or 3 months ago. It's what's happening now and what we want to do with that money now and in the future. And those are the things that you want to be able to learn from learning cash flow management, from empowering yourself, from understanding what your money is doing, what you expect to do with it in the future, and how much is coming in the next 30 to 90, 30, 60, 90 days from now. So what I highly encourage you to do is think through what your finance team is doing, determine how you can start to empower yourself with understanding cash flow. One of the very best ways you can do that is by joining our next Age Money Challenge. We have them very often. They're super, super value packed. We have people telling us all the time it is like more valuable than the last 3 things they purchased, and it gives them so much insight. And I'm talking not just regular, just online business owners, but accountants, bookkeepers, financial planners, additional and fellow Profit First professionals have all come and taken this program and have gotten things out of it. It's because we're looking at this from a very different perspective, and I highly encourage you to join our waitlist for our next challenge. You can go to amberdugger.com/challenge to get on the waitlist, and make sure to connect with us on our community as well at amberdugger.com/community. We would love to answer any and all questions, have a connect call with you. We love connecting with our community. It is not just another Facebook group. This is an active, kind, encouraging community that's all focusing on profitability and cash flow management. If you like this video, please make sure to like the video. It helps so much with visibility for having other people being able to be aware that this exists, that this channel exists, that this content exists. This is something very different than what you're seeing anywhere else in terms of profitability and cash flow. And we so appreciate your viewership, your continued comments, and your liking of the videos and sharing it as well. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to seeing you inside the Facebook group and in our next upcoming challenge. Until next time, much love to you. Take care. I'm Amber Duggar. Talk soon.